want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Touchdown, 8th floor, come down, hotel, lobby. Receptionist, what now? 11 a.m. Check out. Might give her one foul just to tell her it's one now. How come? I need rest, no recess in my schedule. Right. Mama used to serve vegetables, now half the meals got tentacles. Right. Half the errands need a reservation and half my money goes straight to taxes. But I don't trip about it, that's what happens when you got dreams closer than a match. And plus all your boys got expensive habits. Go. I know what they're thinking, they don't even gotta say it. Nope. They thinking they just made it. I know how to make everybody feel famous. I don't gotta work no day shift. I don't gotta...
And we're about 5 miles northwest of downtown Tampa at beautiful Raymond James Stadium near Florida's Gulf Coast. Just a short time ago, the Buccaneers emerging from their tunnel to the roar of this frenzied crowd here in the Sunshine State. And we're in the big ship, and fittingly, everyone here ready to do battle as Tampa Bay gets ready to match up with the Indianapolis Colts. 3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. That's fielded in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
Ready. Blue ready. Mike is 59. Mike the 59. All day, every day, any day. Let's go.
Winston now to throw on first down. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 16 yards on the game's first play and a quick first down. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
Don't get nervous. Come on. Come back. Come. Mike's 59.
Now it's a bootleg with Winston. Got him in. It's Brashad Perriman. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
First and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Ready? 525. Hey, eat. You ain't got nothing.
The second-year man from USC, this is Ronald Jones. And a nice little start as he's able to get this up to the 28. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Only one way to describe Ronald Jones' rookie season with Tampa Bay, and that's disappointing. Drafted to be their lead runner, just 23 carries on a team that ranked 29th in the NFL in rushing.
Hey, alert three.
On second down, it's Jones. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on third down.
Hey! Whip. Sonny! Let's go!
Oh, and the hard count might have got him. This might be a first down. And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
So forget the 3 and out. The penalty makes this first and 10.
I'm coming after you.
To throw, Winston. And Evans hauls it in. Touchdown, Bucs. Mike Evans, his 6th touchdown of the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Here's the second year back out of NC State, Naheem Hines. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down. Well, he, like many good running backs, loves to go to the right, and he looked really comfortable going right there.
And was aided by the deception from his QB, who dropped back first before pitching it out to the right to him. I think it allowed the blocking to get set, and that allowed for the big run, too.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. A nice burst there as they'll get about 7 that time on the first down run. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Fitzpatrick. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Levante David making his presence felt in the backfield. And, Charles, part of the reason they lost last week, they didn't have a single sack. Well, they changed that quickly.
But did they ever? And it was something they talked about with us extensively. They needed to get pressure. How were they going to get to the quarterback? Obviously, they schemed themselves into a great play, didn't they?
3rd and long, Fitzpatrick following the sack. What can he and the gang come up with? Now Fitzpatrick under pressure again, and down he goes again. Shaquille Barrett make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Now, they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in this 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of...
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Give the sack to Blake Martinez.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Jameis to throw it. There's the Penn State man. It's Chris Godwin. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
Chris Godwin, the former Penn Stater, should see an increase in action and production in 2019 with Adam Humphries and Deshaun Jackson gone from the team. 842 yards in 2018, second only to Mike Evans on the Buccaneers.
Hey, 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. Let's go.
First down, Winston. And Brate, the tight end's got it. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Winston, a handoff. This is Jones. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Ready? Blue lady. 50. Mike 50. Get in the weight room. Get in the weight room. 5-0, 5-0, 5-0. Mike's 50. Mike's 50. Curry. Go Mike 50. Mike 50. Let him go.
A first down throw for Winston. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
1st and 10 at the 16-yard line.
Winston in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. On the counter, here's Jones. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd down now, it's Jones. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block, it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
Go.
Play fake. Winston. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
And when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long.
59 Mike, 59 Mike, check, 59. Go on.
From the gun, Winston. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
A 36-yard
Gay's kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
at their own 25-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw again, Fitzpatrick. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the rookie linebacker from LSU, Devin White. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping up man-to-man? He's having to run with a running back or a tight end. In any event, great eyes, head on.
Winston. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Here's second and 10 now from the 29. Now Winston. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
Third and long for Winston. And that will be incomplete. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their history. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
The run only got a yard. Here's second and 9.
I'm coming after you.
Fitzpatrick to throw this time. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Carl Nassib gets him for a loss of 10 yards from his linebacker spot.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. After the sack, they'll come up now third and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the rookie linebacker from LSU, Devin White. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Jameis now on first down. Looking for Perriman there. He's got him. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
On first and 10, Winston. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
After the incompletion, here's second and 10 from the 20. Winston. Setting up the screen here, it's Barber. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. A gain of 13, it's a first down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Throwing, Winston toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
It's put up or shut up time defensively nice. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Peyton Barber, his first touchdown on the year as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead.
We know that the big guys won't get the credit, Brandon, but we also know that that touchdown belongs to them. Excellent job of clearing the way for their running back.
And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but well, let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
They'll run on first down with Marlon Mack. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
On second down, here's a run with Mack. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
20.
Fitzpatrick from the gun on third down. Aguilar has it. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Nelson Aguilar. His second touchdown on the season as they are now on the board here in the first half. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And here's Vinatieri now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field is still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger-happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Play action now. Winston going up top. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. He was looking for Brashad Perriman, and now it's third down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. The Bucs on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Working out of the gun, Winston. Open man is Godwin, it's complete. There he goes, right side. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Chris Godwin, 79 yards as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive, and it seemed like they had maybe given up momentum. Not so fast.
No, not at all, because they ended up pushing the lead up once again, and you're exactly right. Thought momentum might have been shifting. Instead, they grabbed old Mo, didn't let him get to the opposite sideline.
And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. To throw, Fitzpatrick. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. He got 29 yards that time. Final play of the half here, Winston. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. And Ndamukong Suh makes the tackle. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Toss play. It's Mack. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Any team that runs the toss and runs it successfully, That means they win the battle on the edges. That means you seal the edge in order to let your back get to the corner. They got it done there for a very nice game.
They'll run on first down. It's Hines. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. A loss of 2 there. Second down. A tale of two extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again, and instead it works opposite.
Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 39. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
Mack off the draw play. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Give them 14 on that one and a first down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
On first down, it's Mack, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. They'll try to throw now. Brissett. That is caught at the 7. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark it down at the 9. 12 yards there and a first down.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work. And that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Here's Foreman. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Colts are able to draw a bit closer. Vinatieri connecting on the extra point. And that will get him one closer. And here's Vinatieri now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They've got to right the ship. They had a great first half, but the lead has really gone down. Now, you always talk about the adjustment to the adjustment. They've got to adjust right here.
And I think a lot of it is just mentally. Get back to doing what you were doing well in the beginning of the game, but a lot of that is playing with that emotion and that sense of pride and fire that sometimes goes away a little bit when you build up a lead. You think you've got it going, and you also think at any moment I can go ahead and go back to the way it was before. You and I both know it's not that easy once you get off the gas a little.
Yeah, they don't want to see this lead diminish anymore. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
Ready? Blue ready.
Mike is 59. Mike to 59.
You don't want nothing. Give me it. Pick up the ball.
Off the play fake, Winston. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Justin Houston. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
Throw right side, taken in by Godwin. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A nice pickup of 23 on the third down conversion. Jameis now nearing the 300-yard mark with still a quarter to play. It's 1st and 10. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Barber on 1st and 10. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. Darius Leonard, last year's leading tackler as a rookie in the NFL, in on the stop.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down.
59 Mike, check, 59.
Winston leaves it with Barber on the draw. Clayton gathers, makes the stop. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
I'm going to come back to you. 5 on the 50. 59. I hope you rush right down.
From the shotgun, it's Winston. And that is incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. To throw is Brissett. And he whips that one incomplete there. He was looking for the connection with Devin Funchess. But now it's 3rd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open. And this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Brissett, he's going to float this one deep right side. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Brissett to throw for it on 4th. And he's got Rodgers. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Brissett now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Into the air once more. It's Brissett. Caught left side by Hilton. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last two plays. From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. That ball's caught. Aguilar right side. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
First down, Colts.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Brissett again. And he fires one that's intercepted. Carlton Davis picks it, and he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Move. 3 down.
They'll go again to Jones. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 16 yards, a first down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
A bit of an opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves them with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. And that's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
The Bucs on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Jones. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
On 1st and 10, Brissett. They'll run the screen with Mack. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
You know the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 45-yard line.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Past the 20, and now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Nyheim Hines, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. Vinatieri able to tack on the PAT. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So looking at this situation, you should have time for the onside kick and then at least one play. Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game. So looking at this situation, you should have time for the onside kick and then at least one play. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
So time has run out on what will be a Tampa Bay victory. Higher second half, but their first half output, that's enough to carry them to victory.
And that's an odd game to watch, isn't it? Because when we saw the output in the first half, you think to yourself, okay, they've got something working here. They know what they're doing. They'll continue that along. But instead, it's goose eggs in the second half. Fortunately, enough of a cushion and enough defense to carry them.
They move to 5-8, and they will hit the road next week to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for Indianapolis, it's another week to